Hello and welcome to Chocolate Covered Games. This is Monthly Melt for August of 2022. First segment we always do here on Monthly Melt is our fives.
Yep.
And this month I got to pick what our fives were. So I picked our top five button shy games. We do own quite a few button shy games. They're one of I think they're the company we own the most, or the publisher that we own the most games from.
Probably.
Renegade might be close.
Well, if you count all the different, Marvel United different, and all the TC deck builder differently.
Then that's
Crypto,
Simon and Cryptozoic.
Yeah.
But individual games, Button Shy and I think Renegade are probably our top two. But Button Shy, for us, hits a lot of those special.
Now you're describing this horribly. We like it because it's short and Doug doesn't have to read a whole lot of rules.
Yes, there we go.
Doug hates rule books.
I don't hate rule books.
Extremely hates them. He'll throw them out. I'll never know how to play a game.
For me, I like short games that I don't have to think a lot. Though there are some long games that I do think about. Or that I do like to play. Not that I think about.
I constantly think about the games.
The long game?
Yeah. Goes with my cons.
Yep. Like I do want to play a historical miniatures game, which is a long game. I played...
Well, if you chose a historical battle that was really short. Yeah.
Yeah.
This battle only lasted like an hour and a half. It was over super fast.
We do have that Dixie card game that we could never figure out.
Yep.
That's Civil War card game. But anyways, these are our five button shy games. Yeah. And since I picked the topic,
I go first.
Tim will go first.
Now I'm assuming there'll be massive crossovers.
Maybe.
I'm assuming
and we own a lot of their games.
I'm assuming we'll go probably 3 for 5 for crossovers. My number 5.
1, 2. I think we're gonna have 4 or 5.
My number 5 is definitely on your list.
All right, you think?
Well, it's the first button shy game we own, and that's Circle the Wagon.
Okay. Spoiler: Circle the Wagons did not make my list.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about it because if it's on my list and your list, I'll just wait until it's your turn. Circle the Wagon is a fun game. It has the patchwork mechanic where you place the pieces, in this case cards, in a circle, and then the person gets to choose so far out, and whatever you don't choose goes to the other person. So it's a fun little game where you're building, I guess, a ranch technically, where you're getting cattle, you're putting mountains.
You're just building the West.
Yeah, you're building an area.
You're circling the wagons.
Yeah, and there's on each card there are 2 sides. One side is a grid of 4 different areas, and then the other side are scoring conditions. And at the beginning of the game, 3 are chosen as scoring conditions, and then you start building out your western area. So maybe you need cattle to surround mountains, or 4 guns in a row, stuff like that. It's a fun little game. I think it's probably one of their more popular games.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of Button Shy's earlier wallet games in their category.
Yeah, I think it was our first big one.
Yeah. So, that's my number 5, Circle the Wagon.
And you missed your shot there. To use the Chris Bermanism. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, well, I'm not a Bills fan.
Neither am I.
I'm not going to patronize those people.
Patronize.
Nope. I stand by my incorrect pronunciation.
But I'm a Josh Allen fan, so I do sort of like the Bills or something. But anyways, your number 5 was Circle the Wagons, which was not on
your list.
My list. My number 5, I'm guessing, is on your list. So we'll talk about it when we get to that number for you. My number 5 is Death Valley.
That is on my list.
All right, so we'll talk about it later when we get to you.
My number 4. I don't think is on your list. I think it just missed the cut. That's Tussie Mussy.
Tussie Mussy is actually my number 4.
Okay. So I guess we'll talk at the same time.
Yeah.
It's equally good.
Equally good. Yes.
Well, I guess equally great because there's a lot of them, so it made our top 5.
Yes.
Tussie Mussy is you are a flower arranger.
Yes.
Arranging flowers. And then you have, I believe it's a sale bouquet and like a grand bouquet.
Keepsakes.
A keepsake.
It's keepsakes.
Yeah. So there's 2 different scoring rows that you're working on at the same time, which is very nice.
Yeah. Well, it's an I split you choose.
Yeah.
Because you either take the card that's face up or the card that's face down, and your opponent gets the other one. And then after everybody gets their 4 cards, the face down cards are revealed and everyone scores their collection. So, like, you may need the card that says it needs to be next to a keepsake. Well, you got that keepsake that you needed to score that point, and then when it flips over, it may trigger other scoring.
Yep.
Yeah, it's... I think it is their second most popular game. I'll tell you in a second. It is their 3rd best-selling game.
Yeah, about that.
It's their 3rd best-selling game. And the artwork is Elizabeth Hargrove.
Yep. Yep. Each card has its own unique scoring on it, which is nice.
Yeah.
There's, I think, 6 expansions, which we own all 6, making it a 72 card game.
I don't think there's 6
a 91 card game, something like that.
Expansion, collection, there's flower shop, also expansion, flower shop. Customer, yeah, I guess there's a couple expansions.
It's 4 wallets in our thing. So it's more than 18 cards, which did take a factor into where I placed it. I marked some of these down based on how many expansions there are. Now, granted, my number 1 has 4 expansions, but still.
Your 1 is first, so I wonder if your number 1's the same as my number 1.
No. I know for a fact my number 1's not your 1.
Okay.
But yeah, Tussie Mussy is our 4.
All right.
Which means it's back to me. Because I said 4, then that would be your 4. So now it's my 3rd.
Your number 3.
My number 3, I don't think you've played. Because it's a solo game.
Okay.
And that is Rage More.
I have not played that one.
You haven't played Rage More?
No.
Rage More is a very interesting solo game. Now, Button Shy has been doing more solo games.
Yeah.
The Scott Alms collection. This is pre that. This is one of their first solo games.
Is Rove Scott Alms?
I don't believe it is.
I'll tell you in a second.
Because normally it has his
name. It is
name.
not.
Yeah, because it didn't have his name on the little...
Have you played Rove yet?
Not yet. We got it in and I get to play it. But now, maybe since we have this table down here, in our new-ish space...
Yes.
We're slowly making an area. But Rage More is it's a dungeon crawler kind of game.
Okay.
Where it is only 18 cards, which is nice. No expansions, as far as I know of. And on one side, you have your heroes. On your other side, you have your monsters. And it plays kind of solitary-like. Not like solo, because it is solo, but like certain things can't be on other things.
Okay.
Because if they are, you lose. And you go through and you have to win through 3 fights. But each fight will take multiple cards. And those cards go away. So your resources keep going away. Because that monster was eventually going to be a hero. But now it's gone. And all your heroes are also gone. Mm-hmm. So the closer you get to the end, you have less resources. So you got to think, do I want to spend this really good card or shuffle it back into my pile to draw later and hope I get to that 3rd cave? So it's a very difficult challenge because you keep losing resources as you go along. And there's just no way to gain them.
Yeah.
The only downside with this game is there's some times where you can just lose because how the cards come out and things will automatically just go on other things and you'll just lose that way. But other than that, it doesn't take long to set up or play, so it doesn't really hurt if you have an automatic loss.
Well, none of these games take very long or set up.
Some of them can.
No, I'll have to play that one.
So that was my number 3, Rage More.
All right. So I'm guessing my number 3 is probably on your list, and it's a solo game. and it is Unsurmountable.
No.
No? I am really surprised Unsurmountable did not make your list.
Well, my 3 was a toss-up between the two for the solo game.
Okay.
But I like Rage more a little bit more just because I like the theme of a dungeon crawl over
climbing mountains.
Yeah, because I could at least go into a dungeon and die. I cannot climb a mountain personally.
But you can climb a mountain and die.
Yeah.
So in Unsurmountable, you are building a mountain, trying to get to the top with a continuous path on each card. And you have your base camp, which is 4 cards at the bottom. And you always play the leftmost card in that base camp into the mountain. Or, what is it? You discard one of the cards.
Yep, and then it moves.
Or no, you can discard that card to use the power on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can discard that card to use the power on there, but then again, you can't add that card to your mountain. So it may be that it lets you rotate a card 180 degrees. It may let you swap a card from your base camp into the mountain. There's a Yeti card, and I forget what the Yeti does off the top of my head.
Don't recall.
But it's... I like it because it's one of those games, it's quick to set up, it's quick to play. You can play 4 or 5 in 20 minutes. And that feeling of reaching the top of that mountain is really cool. Especially when you can do it with cards that are left over. And there's different levels of the game. Like you can play with 3 cards in your base camp instead of 4.
Different things have to be on a line. Or
yeah, you can, all the forest cards can be in a line, or all the snow cards. So it's however hard you want to make it. I always just play at the easiest level, and I only make it like one every 8 or 9 times.
I believe this one was a Scott Alms.
Yes, this was Scott Alms.
I think I do remember seeing his name on
Scott Alms solo game.
Yeah.
So that was my number 3, Unsurmountable.
My number 2 was already mentioned earlier on the list.
Okay.
As somebody's number 5.
Okay.
That was Death Valley.
Okay.
Death Valley plays a lot like Tussie Mussy, where it has the 2 rows of scoring, because you're taking a trip across Death Valley. Where you have I think the top one's your road trip and your bottom one's your memories, if I remember correct.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's your trip in your journal.
Yeah. And you're trying to put stars in your journal because they're worth more points. And it's all...
if you get too many of the same background or like water or whatever element.
Yeah. Because each card has either like a desert, a water, a sun, or...
If you get too many of the one, I believe what you lose that card, or you lose those cards.
Something like that. Like they no longer score you points. But Death Valley ranked above Tussie Mussy and Death Valley are pretty much very close to the same game. I just like the theming more of Death Valley over Tussie Mussy. Because I do like the art in Death Valley. It has that Western deco kind of thing going for it. But yeah, my number 2 is Death Valley.
My number 2. Since I already know you only have one solo game on your list, is not on your list. And my number 2 is Sprawlopolis.
Wow. You can play more than just solo, but most people...
Is it on your list?
No. Most everybody plays Sprawlopolis solo.
Yeah. Sprawlopolis is just an awesome game. You're building a city using the 18 cards, but on the back of every card is scoring conditions. So as you're building your city, you may want, a certain number of parks to be close to each other, a certain number of buildings, or, you may need to just have any numerous type of scoring things, and they may work against each other, the 3 that you randomly choose. Yeah. So you got to decide, okay, I'm going to work on this one versus this one, but these 2 here may work together.
Yeah, this one fell out of my top 5 surely on the fact that this game has the most expansions. It has this Combinopolis, Agropolis, Beaches, Highways, Industrial, Fantasy,
I don't know.
Kaiju,
Well, Grobless is a standalone game.
Extra Cards, even more cards. I think is his expansion name.
Yeah.
And then like the last expansion is called Big Box Edition. I mean it has a lot of expansions because it is popular.
Well, wasn't one of your ideas for Button Shy, if you're gonna make a game with more than 18 cards, do a big box line?
I think they should either go super tiny with 18 cards, or go the other way where it has to have over 1,000.
Yeah.
Like you are buying like a 60-pound box of cards.
Let's see. Okay.
Are you seeing how many expansions it has?
Comboopolis expansion, invasion and points of interest, seasons expansion.
I forgot seasons. I think.
Okay, well that's all it's list.
It's a lot more. But yeah, that was what, your number 2?
Yes.
My number 1 isn't on your list.
Okay.
Even though it should be, because when we played it, you constantly cheated. And that is Arcane Bakery.
How'd I constantly cheat?
Well, you're only allowed 3 ovens. And you constantly have like 5 things going on. You weren't supposed to be looking what's in your oven because it's part memory game. You're like, okay, I have all these extra ovens somehow. What's here? What's here? Okay. When we played, you had like 9 ovens going on.
I did not.
And so, in Arcane Bakery, you are facing another baker, like a competition.
Yeah.
You get 3 ovens, which are what you're baking in. Once you put what you're baking in the oven, you can't look at it. It's supposed to be memory. You're supposed
I always look at what I put in the oven.
Well, that's not how this game works, because this game, each thing takes so long to cook.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to memorize all these things, because this is one of the early Button Shy, well, it's not early, it's midpoint, when they started having you have to bring your own things like chips or coins. And you have, ovens with timers. And once you put something in the oven, you place your coin down on your timer. And you had to try to remember how long that goes in to pull it out. Because you couldn't look at it. And there's cards you can mess with people like shuffle ovens, shuffle, your timers and whatnot. So it's a memory game where you get to mess with people, which is a nice mechanic. And just working in culinary my whole life, I'm against using timers in general. Like, I'll put something in the oven at work, I'll look at the clock and be like, okay, I know it has to come out this time. And they're like, why don't you use the oven timer? I'm like, because I won't pay attention to that buzzing, but I'll see a clock every now and then. I'll be like, now it's time to come out.
But if you don't look at the clock for like 2 hours.
Yeah. No, when you work at an elementary school, you're constantly looking at the clock being like, I'm soon gotta be leaving here, right? So you're always looking at the clock.
Yep.
So Arcane Bakery, which I'm assuming is not on your list because you didn't say it was.
No.
Yep.
My number 1, this is the game that probably may have the most expansions. I think you're wrong with the other one. This is Skulls of Sedlick.
There's only like 8 of those.
Because there's Monstrous, Executioner, Castle Guard, Poet, Merchants, Zealots, Champions, Crown of Bones. There's 3 holiday ones, Ultimate Champions. We don't have all that. Get on that.
What, Skull of Sedlick?
We don't have all of it.
Yeah.
We don't have the 3 holiday features.
Yeah, they're not the things. They're just they're cards.
It's a solo expansion.
Yeah, they just show you shapes to set your things up in. Yeah. Like one's a bell, one's like a tree.
I don't think we have the Ultimate Champions expansion.
Yep. Yeah. When I backed this, I backed it at the top.
Okay.
Trust me, we have all 41 expansions.
So Skulls of Sedlick, which I believe is how you pronounce it.
Probably.
Close enough.
I'm not French.
You are you're a monk competing to create the best arrangement of skulls in the cemetery. So, like, conmen want to be next to the priest.
Yeah. The game, I think, is you're setting up the catacombs.
Well, no, because it's the hierarchy.
Yeah, and you're placing the bodies and the cones. And
Well, you're placing the skulls in a pyramid.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, Kami, I want to be next to Priest. In the Poet expansion, what?
Poets want to be next to lovers who aren't next to each other.
Yeah.
Which negates their scoring condition.
Yeah, and lovers want to be next to each other, and
nobles
want to be above peasants.
Yeah.
And peasants are just 1 point. So there's so many different ways to score.
Mm-hmm.
Priest, it's 2 points per each, having one in each level.
Yeah.
So it's really thinky because of making sure you play the right card to help build your mausoleum, catacomb, graveyard, whatever you want to call it. And boy, do the expansions really change up. That castle guard one, where you want to have a castle guard above the royalty, because it like protects them. Man, that's really hard because of how you need. Like, you can't put one card in the first level, then the next card on the second level, because it's sort of you have to be able to build. Yeah. So you have to have 2 cards on the base to go to the next level, 3 cards to get, or 4 cards on the base to get 3 cards up. So
it's like stacking cups.
Yeah. It's like that, but with some scoring, and I enjoyed it when we played it. We played it base game, and then we just rolled through all the expansions, and I really liked each time. Mm-hmm. So that was my number 1, Skulls of Sedlic. Do you have any favorite Button Shy games? Do you have any small micro games? There are other micro games out there. Yeah. That 18 card things. Grove, Orchard are 2 big ones that just came out.
Or any other micro companies, because there are like 3 or 4 now.
Yeah. Micro
companies that have really taken over.
Yeah. Do you like that genre of game? And if you have a favorite Button Shy game, put that down in the comments. Do like, subscribe, hit the bell, share, whatever else we need to do.
Yep. If you work for Button Shy, start sending us stuff. There's a chance one of our 46 followers could be working for them.
For Button Shy. They are close to us.
Yep.
They're based out of New Jersey, and we're in Pennsylvania. Yep. So we do see them at PAX Unplugged, which is where we tend to get a lot of Button Shy games.
Because it's easy to travel with.
Yeah. Whatever we don't get off Kickstarter, we tend to buy 5 or 6 down there at PAX, which we didn't go to last year.
No. Welcome to Chocolate Cover Games' monthly melt segment of games played for the month of August. My name is Tim.
And I'm Doug.
And today I'm going to start off with 2 games that I played before Doug's played them, because I know you haven't played them yet.
I bet you I did.
Did you play Grove and Orchard?
I played Orchard.
Okay, so I'll go with Grove first.
Okay. It's the same game, sort of.
Kind of. Grove is an 18-card game where you're building a grove of fruit, and you do this by stacking cards on top of each other. So you want apple trees on top of apple trees, oranges on top of orange trees, and you keep track with how tall your orchard is by
each tree
with dice.
Yeah.
And each time you stack, the dice value gets higher. If you stack the wrong kind of tree on each other, on this version you put a bad apple token.
Yeah.
And that gets you -3 points. You can do that twice in this version. But then let's go on to the other version. Orchard.
It's the same thing. You're matching colors of the trees.
But with this one, there's empty spots on the card.
No, that's Grove that has the empty spots.
Is it?
Yeah, Grove has the empty spots. Orchard doesn't.
Okay. So I described as Orchard.
Yeah.
So Grove gives you empty spots and replaces the bad apple token with a squirrel.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's pretty much the difference. With Grove, there are empty spots which you can put trees over, or you can put empty spots over the trees. Mm-hmm. In Orchard, all 6 spots on the card have a tree, and
it gives you 2 options, two bad apple tokens, where this one only gives you one, angry squirrel.
Yeah. And then if it's just one, if you cover that tree once with the same color, you put that color dice with the 1. You put another one on top. You switch that dice to a 3, another 6, and then 10.
Yep.
I
haven't got a 10 yet.
No, the most I got was 6.
Yeah.
A 6. But the best I've ever did was like 17 points, which is still the bottom level.
I think the highest I got was 28.
Yeah. I did almost have it where I lined up an entire card perfectly that I could have laid it over top.
Well, that's the thing. You can never have one card completely covered. It always has to have one piece of it showing. It's in the rules.
No, I missed that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have that at any point, but I could.
In the rules, at least one piece of the card.
Well, I guess it would have.
And then you can only rotate your card sideways. You can't like turn it upside down.
But you can.
Well, maybe it's the other one where you can't. You can only have it up because each card's numbered.
Yeah.
So you can either have up or turn side to side, but you can't have it upside down.
Orchard can go anyway.
Okay, the first one then you can't have it upside down.
But I enjoyed Orchard.
Yeah, Orchard and Grow were both fun.
I printed it.
Yeah.
The print and play version a long time ago, and just never played it. Mm-hmm. Mainly because I didn't have the colored dice.
Yeah.
Which I could have used any dice.
Yeah. Alright, so those 2 of the games we played. Let's go with print and play, since you talked about. Let's go with Abstract.
Okay. Abstract
is you're making art.
Yeah.
Paint by numbers, kind of.
Yeah. It's a very abstract game, as the name implies.
Yeah, you roll 2 dice.
So you roll 2 dice, and what that does is the number.
You choose one to be
the color,
and then you choose the other where to place it.
Well, no, you roll 6 dice. Remember, you roll 6 dice, right. And then you choose 2.
You pair them off, essentially.
Yes.
So
it's 2, 2, and 1. Yeah. And the 1 is the color. Mm-hmm. And then I'm trying to remember. This was a very weird game.
Yeah.
Because on the paper,
it's a block of
it's a 6, and then
each group of 6 has 4 blocks in them.
Yeah. So you're using. So each actually you don't group them, because remember, 1 number was the color.
Yeah.
1 number, 1 or 2 was like the star, or no, 5 or 6 was the star, which was a victory point you could circle. 3 or 4 let you move.
Yeah.
You could bank a 3 or 4, and that lets you choose any of the blocks to put it in. And a 1 or 2, was that the one that lets you change color?
I think.
And then there were ways to score depending on how you, like, what Tetris form your colors were in.
Yep. Or if you had different color each column or a different color in each row.
So we're probably doing a horrible example of explaining this, but for a simple rolling color game, it was a lot to take in. Mm-hmm. But for a free print and play, it was, I thought, hefty.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, you do need crayons or colored pencils or markers. So, and the dice.
You could probably just write in the color in the box.
Yeah.
You could just be like orange, red, purple.
But that loses the aesthetic of it.
Yeah, well, it'd be more abstract that way.
Yeah. But that's abstract. A print and play game, I believe you can still get it. It's probably still out there for free.
Yeah, I'm sure if somebody typed in abstract roll and write game, coloring roll and write game, I'm sure they could come across it.
Yeah.
The next game we played is also a roll and write. Well, not roll and write. Roll and move. Print and play game. That's Lawnmower Racing. It wasn't on BGG.
I forgot all those games we played.
Well, that was the only one that was on BGG. That's Lawnmower Racing. It's a little postcard size game.
Yes.
Where you have 2 dice. one dice is your lawnmower, the other dice is, I guess, your speed.
Yeah. And these were, who were those by?
That's by the people that made the wrestling game, the GAAME game.
No.
Yeah, that's who it was by. They also did the rodeo one. I'm telling you, that's who it's the word game spelled with 2 A's.
It's Play.
Play game. I knew it had 2 A's in it.
It's under Play Classics, I believe.
Yeah.
Or
And
it's in that Play series. They do History Maker Baseball, things like that. They do. They did these things where they designed a whole bunch of these
game.
business card games. Yeah.
I guess it was 3 dice because some of the times you had to do like a 12 or 7.
Yeah.
You can't do that with 1 dice. But 1 dice was your lawnmower, and then you had 2 dice to roll. And you had to roll certain numbers to move your lawnmower.
Yep.
If you didn't, your lawnmower got damaged, and you spin down your counter.
Yep.
And if you ever got to 0, your mower exploded.
Yeah, because you had to roll the numbers that were upcoming on the board to move.
Yeah. And you could always stop if you rolled like the exact number you needed to heal up and not move forward.
Yeah.
I didn't. I just kept pushing my mower until I blew it up at the line.
Yeah.
So that's what you would do with lawnmower racing.
Yeah.
No one's playing lawnmower racing safely.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was lawnmower racing. Don't know if you have anything else to add to that game.
No.
The 5th game we played this month is one of Doug's favorite. And that's Guillotine.
Oh, what about all those other ones?
What other one?
Those other business card ones.
No, we didn't play any other one.
Yeah, we played the bull riding one.
Nope.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay, bull riding one is you have 2 dice. There's on the business card tells you what the bull does, if it bucks, if it does something. And you gotta keep rolling. It's a push your luck thing. If you don't call what you're wanting to do, like you're like, oh, it's gonna buck, and you hope it lands on that thing. And if it doesn't, it throws you off. And you have 8 rolls to do. That's it. It's whoever doesn't get thrown off. And you can always stop. You're like, oh, I lasted 6 seconds. That's fine. Even though that wouldn't work in bull riding.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm good at 6-second bull. And the other person's like, oh, I lost at 2 seconds. And you're like, I won. I explained the game very well.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just rolling the dice and well no, because remember you're picking to see if you get it right.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, okay.
I said you're like, I think it's gonna buck, so it's gonna land between 1 and 2. It's a 2. I was right. So
yeah, you pick if you're gonna hold on, if you're gonna do.
It's gonna tornado. That's a 5 or 6. I got a 5. I held on for another second. It's gonna kick. I roll a 4. It didn't kick. It threw me off.
Why I can't find their website now?
Oh,
I bet you because I'm at the wrong one. It's Play Now.
Yeah.
So they had that. Did we play any of the other ones?
No, I believe those were the only 2. Because that night we also played.
We played so it's Bull Ride Hero.
Yep.
Was that one, and Mo Master.
Yeah, those were the only 2.
They also have a couple of those other games. Again, they're free, and I believe those were actually. Who's the guy that owns that company? I believe Keith Avalon. Designed by Keith Avalon. The mowing one was designed by Mike Fitzgerald and Ian Bach. Well, Mike Fitzgerald does baseball highlights.
Okay.
Your favorite game.
Yep.
But I do know that like the Bull Ride one, Keith Avalon, they were doing a lot of stuff online with fans of the Play series of games, and I thought that was pretty cool. So those were sort of like some home brewed games in that series that they're doing.
Okay.
And if you never checked out Play.com, check it out. There's some good simulation. If you like Stratomatic games, they have History Maker Baseball. There's History Maker Golf. We have Face to the Mat Wrestling, which I'm trying to get Tim to do a series because that's very much you create your own storylines and you have wrestling matches, and he's creative with that, and I think would do a good job with it. So,
let's go to our number 5, which is Guillotine, which I'll let you explain since it's in your top, I think, 15 when I made your list.
Yeah, I do believe it's in my top 15. It might even be in my top 10. I don't remember off the top of my head. Guillotine is basically you have 2 decks of cards. One is the royalty. One is the action cards. So you lay out 12 the royalty cards from left to right. The little guillotine props at the end, which the one that comes in the box, it's just a little paper thing you fold over. Going to a Renaissance fair, I may look to upgrade that component. If I could find the little miniature guillotine, that'd be kind of cool. But what you're doing is whatever card is at the front of the line, when it's your turn, that is the card you get. So you may want that card. You may want to move cards around, especially later in the lineup, so that it would fall in order where it would come to you. Because there are cards that are worth 5 points, cards that are, all different values. Cards are worth -1, but if you have certain cards, they may be worth more if they're paired with a different card. Or if you have, I think, so many Royal Guards, they increase each time. I enjoy this game. This, to me, is, again, one of those home run games for me. I know for sure it's in my top 20. Top 15, even maybe top 10. Like I said, I don't remember off the top of my head. But I guess I should have my top 10 memorized.
You should.
I have my top 3.
You should have your top 100 memorized at all time. Somebody runs up to you and be like, what's your 74th favorite game? Should be able
Do you know?
What, your 74th?
No, yours.
I wouldn't know your 74th.
Do you know yours?
Yes.
What?
It's Chinatown.
Yeah. We don't own a game called that.
There's a game called that.
Yeah, we don't own it. We never played it.
On my 100 list, there's a lot of games we don't own that.
Yeah, but we never played it.
Yeah, we have.
But Guillotine, definitely check that game out.
Alright, next game we played on this month, or in this month, is Wild Serengeti.
Yeah.
Wild Serengeti is one of the newer games that came out, where you are a photographer in Serengeti. And it's all about manipulating the animals on the board. You have one action where you're moving to either get animals on the board or moving animals on the board already.
Yeah, moving them around.
And you have cards that want you to do certain things, like how these animals in the row, these animals in a group, this animal in like a mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, so the scoring cards are picture cards, is what it is. You're trying to take those pictures. And the harder it is to get the animals in that order is the bigger point cards. Mm-hmm. So if you need like one of each animal in a row, that can be pretty hard.
Yeah.
Or if they need to be like in a row and some have to be on certain geography features.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just maybe you need an elephant next to a crocodile next to zebra.
Yeah, but one of them has to be in like a river.
Yeah, like the crocodile had to be in a tree for some reason. Whatever it was. Or they had to be... Each thing was different. And I thought that was really unique. And then after the third round... Was it third, fifth?
Yeah, no.
After, I forget which rounds. It might have been...
Fifth, and seventh. Because there's 8 rounds.
Third, fifth, and seventh then? They did it 3 times.
Yeah, because the top 3, nothing happened. Then once you got... So the 4th, the 5th, and the 7th, I think. Or 4th, 6th, and 8th. 1 of the 2.
Yeah. There were 3 rounds where you flipped over what they called a migration card. And any animals that were in those spots...
Left the board.
So it was a way to clear the board somewhat as those animals migrated away from where you were. And, that could really swing the game. Because if you're like, oh, man, look, next round, I have this card in my hand, and those animals are exactly where I need them. That migration card comes out, and 3 of those animals are gone.
Yep.
That was tough. And, though, the other thing was... with the scoring with the cards with like the hearts and things like that to get the FX tokens and things like that. Because I never got any heart token cards.
And that's all I got.
That's all Tim got, and that's what won him the game.
Because every time they came out, I'm like, oh, I guess this time I'm just going to take that card instead of doing a thing. Because
And I never got any in my hand when you drew cards at the beginning of each round.
Yeah.
So I strictly went after victory point cards. And I think you only ended up beating me by a couple.
Yeah.
Because you ended up with so many points at the end of the game. Like, I was like 60 points ahead of you going into final scoring.
Yeah, all my points came to after.
And in final scoring, I scored like 5 points. And you scored like 70. So, it's one of those games where, yeah, it's not over till the final scoring for sure, because you can have some wild swings. And I wonder if the game would be different at 3 players or 4 players. Because playing it at 2, we were the ones manipulating all the animals.
I'm sure it gets more chaotic once you have
more animals would have came out. You wouldn't have blocked those things at the board, because like if you were in a space, and if I wanted something to an animal in that space to come out, I would have to pay for it. At 2 players, because you can't stay in the same space, well, I just go do something else to move. Where in a 3 or 4 player game, you might have to do that because you want to get that out. So I bet you 3 or 4 players does change the game up a little bit.
Yeah.
I also think it would make it a whole lot longer.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought it was pretty long as is. But I thought it was good.
I did like that every scoring card had a fun little fact.
Yeah.
About the Serengeti, which,
and
even though it's flavor text, it's still nice.
Yeah.
I do know they were working on a sequel, because they've mentioned it on their Kickstarter that they're working on Wild, name entered here because it's supposed to be Amazon. But I guess they said they could be sued by Amazon, which I guess they own the naming right to Amazon, which is interesting.
I wonder if they call it Wild the Amazon.
No, I think they're going. The thing that they're thinking about is calling like the lungs of the world, because that's like the nickname of the Amazon.
Rainforest.
Well, there's many rainforests out there.
Big rainforest.
Big rain. South America rainforest.
Yeah, there you go.
The next game on the list that we played was The Spill.
Yep.
Now, I really enjoyed The Spill because Castle Panic is one of my favorite games out there.
I enjoyed it too.
I've seen a lot of negative feedback from people reviewing this game. One of the things is they don't like how the board's always set up the same way, which I can understand.
Yeah.
But I think if you left it to chance, all your animals could wind up on one side. And that could really kill the game because everybody would just be over there.
Yeah.
So I do, like I said when I unboxed it, there is 2 sides to the board. They could at least have a second side on the board where it was slightly different.
Yeah.
And then I think that complaint could have went away.
Yeah, you could have had an easier game and a little harder game.
Yeah. It is a reverse castle defense. Instead of the problems coming from the outside in, your problems are coming from the inside going out. Where essentially an oil rig ruptures and oil starts spilling into the ocean. And your job is to save the animals from being killed or contaminated from the oil. Throughout the game, you'll remove oil dice. That's one of the main goals. Because each game you get a victory card. And it gives you 3 things you have to do.
Yep.
Remove so much oil, save so many animals, and what's the third one? Remove oil, save animals. Save a certain number of animals, and then save a certain set of animals. Like you need to save 6 sets of these or 5 sets of those. It is a fun game.
Yeah. I think it would be better with more than 2.
Yeah.
Even though with 2, you
still play 4 characters.
Yeah, you play 4 characters.
Yeah, no matter what, you always play a 4-person game, no matter how many people are playing.
The oil dike in the middle as the dice tower is a unique idea, though I do think ours may be defective because like 99% of the dice went to one area.
I think the table was leaning.
So I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Try it on a different table. But yeah, I mean, if you like Castle Panic, I think you'll like that game.
Yeah. That was The Spill. The last game we played this month, we played twice, because the first time we completely played it wrong. That's DC Deck Builders Teen Titans Go.
We only played once.
No, we played it back to back.
Well, no, we played like 10 hands, and then we went back and redid it.
Okay.
We didn't play it twice. We played it 1.5 times.
the DC Deck Builders series, this version, Teen Titan Go, adds sidekicks.
Yes.
So instead of just having your main hero on your side, you also have your hero, and all the cards you didn't choose are sidekicks. Now, when we read the rule books, it said there'd be things that say recruit, and we thought, oh, that meant the small cards. We were wrong.
They're on the sidekick card. It says
What you
have to do to recruit that sidekick.
Like on your turn, if you play 5 equipment cards, you get to recruit Cyborg, and he just comes to your side.
Yes.
We didn't figure that out because we got a good bit into the game. We're like, man,
we got almost all the way to the very end.
we're like, we never got a single thing to recruit any of these people. This is a terrible game.
And then I figured it out, and then like the last quarter of the game, we played with it.
Yeah.
But by that time, I was so far ahead, it wasn't going to matter.
Yeah, because all my cards, I kept trying to get cards that say, oh, this helps when you have psychics. I'm like, well, once I get psychics, I'm going to get a ton of points. I never got psychics.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and then the thing was, once we figured out how to recruit it, our decks were so built that
it didn't really.
We just, every time we played, we had all the sidekicks.
Yeah, they would just hop back and forth. But yeah, it's a DC deck builder game. It's the same as almost 100% of them.
And I like the DC deck builder.
Yeah.
And I like Marvel Legendary. I like deck builders. My favorite game of all time is a deck builder. The best deck builder of all time. Should be Tim's number 1 deck builder of all time. And in his top 10 games, but apparently it's not.
Is that Bill Collector?
Yeah.
Where you keep getting bills into your deck, you keep trying to get rid of them. It's like the reverse deck builder.
Yeah.
It forces cards that are bills upon you.
No, the greatest deck builder is Baseball Highlights 2045.
That's strong.
But no, DC deck builder, Teen Titans Go. We need to play it again using the proper thing the whole way through.
Yeah.
And you can, again, mix it with all the other DC deck builders. Which, again, DC deck builder, any of them, it's just mindless fun.
Yeah.
We know how to play the DC deck building series of games, except we didn't realize how to use recruit.
Yeah.
And you can mix that with the other one, so you can have, Robin with Robin.
Yeah.
And
I mean, not many people mix the DC deck builders together.
Yeah.
You kind of just keep them separate, but.
So those are all the games we played this month.
Yep.
So I guess you do your least favorite game of the month.
Yep.
And I do the favorite.
Yep.
Well, we already know what your favorite is because you did say it.
I guess my least favorite out of these, I'll go with Bull Mania. Why not?
Because the first time I rolled dice, I was done.
I mean, it's like I rolled 2. He didn't spin. I guess I fell off. I was a terrible cowboy today.
Yeah.
End of game.
Well, that happens.
Yeah, I know.
So I guess my favorite, Guillotine. It's in my top games of all time. But putting that one aside, if I got to put that one aside, I would say Orchard.
It's a fun game.
If I put Guillotine aside, mainly because it's in my top 20, Orchard, but Guillotine's my favorite of the month.
Yeah. So those are the games we played for the month of August. Leave a comment down below if you've played any of these games.
Or what you played.
Or games that you've played this month. I'd love to hear those. Also, do like and subscribe to the channel. Share the video. It does help. We're getting closer to 50 subscribers every year. That's the goal per year.
Just to get to 50?
Yep. It's going to be a great day. Hello and welcome to Chocolate Cover Games monthly melt segment of Off Topic for the month of August. My name is Tim.
And I'm Doug.
And for this month Off Topic, I've gotten to choose. Now, let me see here. I would say this space, but I'm going to save that until we actually finish it.
Yeah.
We're like 33% of the way there, which is nice. So yeah, I do have my Off Topic this month. And it's actually on a toy.
Oh, I thought it was going to be end of summer.
Nope.
Or school starting.
Yeah. For some reason, I've really gotten into reviews of seeing about reviews of this one toy.
Okay.
And it's a very popular toy. But I don't believe it's a toy anymore.
Okay.
I believe you would classify these as models.
G.I. Joes?
No.
Transformers?
Nope.
Starting lineup figurines?
Nope.
McFarlane's?
No.
When
they first came out, they were very praised for being a unisex toy.
Bobblehead?
Nope. They were both for boys and girls. As like when the 90s came along, it started to shift where like they still had them, but like these ones were for boys and these ones were for girls.
Slinkies?
And now they also have a line where it's just for like babies, which is a bad idea because they're highly chokeable. You don't want to step on these. They will destroy your feet.
Jacks?
They connect.
Legos?
There you go, Legos. Legos is my topic for off topic this month. And I've started to watch a lot of reviews because there are a lot of great Legos out there now.
Is it off topic? I believe there is Lego board games.
I don't know if I've seen a Lego board game.
I think there is.
Well, you could technically build a board game off of Legos.
Yeah.
Because they can
it's
build
still off topic.
But, I've been watching a lot of reviews of Legos because I was watching people doing unboxings of Legos, and this guy used to work for Legos and he's created a bunch of sets, which are nice. Like, it's a globe, or it's the Titanic, or it's Taj Mahal.
Dude, that Titanic one is awesome. It's like 9,000 pieces.
Well, the largest one right now, I forget what it is called. You can look it up on Lego.com. But it's just the world map. But it's so many pieces because it's just the little cap things that you put over the nubs. I think it's like 22,000 pieces. And it's ugly as can be. I mean, they could have chose better colors for this thing if you're going to hang it on your wall. It's just Lego.com.
Yeah, I was typing in the largest Lego sets.
Yeah, it's gonna be depending when this came out, because like the world map only came out earlier this year, I believe.
August 13th, 2022.
Yeah, so it should be on there. It's just the world globe.
Yep, Lego Art World Map.
Yeah.
It is 11,695 pieces.
Yeah, and all it is the push things, like the things that go over the top things, more or less.
Now the big question is, how much is it?
Was it $680, I believe? Like that's my thing about Legos that I was gonna get off topic about.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Was it $700?
No, it's $249.
Oh, was it? Some of them are expensive. I think
the Titanic one's like ridiculous.
Yeah, the Coliseum's expensive. The Titanic's expensive.
Well, this world map looks awesome.
Yeah, it's too gray.
Not when you put everything on it. So yes, the Lego Art World Map is 11,695 pieces. The Titanic is 9,090 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
The Coliseum is 9,036 pieces. Then you have the Lego Star Wars UCS Millennium Falcon.
Okay.
Then the Lego Star Wars UCS Atwalker.
Yeah, AT-AT.
I'm not a Star Wars guy, so what is it? The
AT.
AT Walker?
AT-AT, or you could say AT-AT.
Then the Lego Harry Potter Hogwarts Castle. The Lego Creator Taj Mahal. The Lego Real Madrid Stadium. It's a weird thing to have a thing of.
People like that stadium.
The Lego Ninjago City Gardens.
Mm-hmm.
The Lego Harry Potter Diagon Alley. Those are the top 10.
But the reason I chose this for my off topic is they keep referring to them as toys. It's not a toy anymore. You can't buy just a bin of Legos anymore in the store. All Legos come in model kits, essentially.
You can get the Ghostbusters Firehouse.
Yeah, I know. Because before you would buy a bin of Legos and it'd just be random pieces and kids could just create. Now whenever you buy Legos, you're essentially buying a model kit.
So they do have these other art ones. There's a Batman one.
Yeah.
There's a Harry Potter.
On their website, they're broken down. Like there's the guy that I follow on YouTube that used to work for them. He did a bunch of stuff in the art lines. Like he made the ship in the bottle one, and he made the globe.
Dude, does that thing actually go?
What?
The roller coaster.
Yeah, I think it has some of their engine pieces in it.
Dude, some of these are awesome.
Yeah, it's a hobby we can't get into.
Because we can't afford it?
No.
Like we can afford board gaming?
This is... Well, to get on my point with the cost, because when I was on their Lego website, they have a baby version. I think it's called like Duplo.
Yeah.
Duplo, which I'm like...
Home Alone house?
You shouldn't have a baby version of a product that's easily chokeable. But one of the things they had on there was just, I think it's a bunny in an inner tube. That's all it is. It's 5 pieces. It was $20 for 5 pieces. Which is ridiculous. You're telling me those 5 pieces are going to run you $20.
Yeah.
That,
Legos are expensive.
I'm not buying a kid a 5-piece thing for $20. Like, when I went to the local Comic-Con, the Harrisburg Comic-Con, there was like 6 or 7 tables where they had Lego figures for sale. Where it's just like the little figures and it'd be like the Batman versions or this and that. And they were selling them for like $10 a pop for just one. And I thought to myself, and people were buying them.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, why are you buying them? Because essentially you can only get them with like kits and whatnot. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I think Lego has gone so far away from what they started as. Where it's a toy where kids can create things from their imagination to a hobby for rich people.
You can build a Lego Atari 2600.
Yeah, you can make an NES now.
Sweet.
There's a whole Nintendo line. Now, in theory, you should be able to make that with just regular blocks.
Yeah.
But you can't, because now Lego has essentially made these pre-made kits where they have certain pieces and things.
They're expensive, too.
I said that earlier. Are you just coming to the realization that Legos are expensive? I mean, there are some stunning art pieces.
Ooh, you can do the Friends apartment.
Yep.
For $179.
I mean, if that's your thing. But I don't think Lego should be a toy anymore. I think we should all just accept that. Which is weird.
It's a collectible.
I still think you should consider it a modeling thing, a model thing.
Yeah.
But when you go to like a model shop, you'll never see them there.
Yeah.
But it dominates so much of the what?
The Titanic's out of stock.
Ah.
That could have been my Christmas present.
Yep.
$679.99.
Did you? You never watched any of the unboxing. The unboxing for the Titanic, when the guy unboxed it, came in a box the size of our what's that dungeon crawler?
Massive Darkness?
Yeah, it came in a Massive Darkness size box. It was like this big. And then inside that box was like 8 other boxes. They're like, this is box 1. You take out box 1. Inside box 1 is like 60 bags. And then each bag you work on. I'm like, this is too much.
Huh.
Because there's things inside the Titanic. Like, there's an engine room. There's rooms. But you don't see it. Why are you building it?
Because you know it's in there.
I mean, if I were to actually buy any Lego model set, I think I'd either go for the globe.
Yeah, I just got to that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's very nice. Or the ship in the bottle. Because those are the ones, the guy that I watched create it, and they're very lovely. Still expensive, but very nice.
Some of these are like awesome. A jazz quartet? Did you see that one?
Yes, I told you, I've been to their site. Trust me, when I got to this rant, it's because I looked into it.
Medieval Blacksmith.
I tend not to rant with non-knowledge.
123 Sesame Street. Winnie the Pooh.
The medieval black set, I think, comes with 2 people. It comes with like a blacksmith and a customer.
Sonic the Hedgehog. A motorized lighthouse? No way.
There's one where it's an old CRTV set that, you can put with like the NES that you build. The typewriter?
Yeah.
The guy that did the Globe also made that one.
Sorry, I am too thrilled by this. I'm listening to him.
But the CRT set comes with this paper that you put down, and it's the Mario, and you turn the handle, and the Mario on there moves up and down with the picture, so it looks like it's playing the first level of the game.
And they have like tons and tons of stuff. Power functions.
Yeah,
stuff.
if there's an IP out there, it's been Legofied.
Dude, I wonder if the piano plays because it's listed under their motorized Lego set.
It probably just moves the keys. It might have a little box in there. So I guess that's the official announcement. This channel is becoming a Lego set, and Doug's gonna buy all the Legos.
No, I can't afford that.
Doug is buying every Lego he sees from now
Only
on.
if I hit the lottery. There's one on here. Lego art.
There's a good Lego art one where it's the Starry Night photo from Van Gogh. Well, not photo, painting. A Van Gogh painting Starry Night. So it's the Starry Night paint, it has like a little arm that comes off of it, and you put a little Van Gogh figure painting the painting that you just built.
Man, the Rolling Stones logo, it's $149.
I can believe that. There's also things where you can, what's it called? Lego, is it Lego My Way or something? Where you send them a photo and they Lego 5 for you and then they send you the kit. That costs a pretty penny.
Sounds like a good Christmas present to me.
It's 6 digits, I think. Minimum. Doesn't matter if your picture is like a black room.
Am I not worth that?
Nope. Like, here's a picture of a blank wall. And they're like, cool. Give us $1 million, please. But they don't give you, like, the instructions for
Loop
those.
coaster. Atari. Bunch of soccer stadiums.
Soccer's big. It's probably the biggest sport in the world.
Yes.
I've been told. The lowest sport in the world is probably American football. Unless you live in America.
Sorry, I am so intrigued by some of these.
Yep. It's a rabbit hole for sure.
Like an Adidas.
But the fun fact is, you cannot find just a group of Legos to buy on their site. Like, I can't just buy, like, give me 100 plain random Lego.
Huh. That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I still stand by my rant. Lego needs to start putting out sets for kids where it doesn't come with instructions. You just get your bin of random Legos. You can find it on eBay and whatnot.
That's what I was...
Yeah, you can still find them, but they don't... Lego doesn't, like, make those anymore.
So in other words, all the Legos I have in our, like, upper garage I should be selling?
You don't get much for them.
Yeah.
Because, surprise, kids don't want to use their imagination. You young generation alphas.
Well, what if I build it into something?
And
Then sell it?
I guess, well, no, because you would have to write down the steps, disassemble it, and sell it as a model. Because the joy isn't buying it made, the joy is making it.
Now, like, all these huge sets, like the Titanic and that, does it come with, like, a step-by-step instruction manual?
Yeah, the thing came with, like, a phone book, like this thick. But you need to speak Legoese to put it together. Because it'll be like, okay, I need to get the 1x2x1 and attach it to, like, the 2x4x half, which are, like, the squat blocks. And then you get into the weird ones, like, it's the oval dash something, where it's, like, the non-round ones that are cut in half. So you need to know their code language.
Yeah.
So it's part code breaking, part building.
With, like, the world map one where it's, like, the push pin thing?
It's just a picture.
Is that more like a light bright?
No,
Oh.
it doesn't light up.
No, but, like, does it tell you what color should go in there?
No, the guy showed us the book for that when you open it up, because it comes with, such a big squares, and the squares get put together. And it would be like square 1, and then it will just have numbers like 1, 3, 5, 6, 1, 3. And then on the side, it'll tell you what the colors are. Like, it's paint by colors, but...
Paint by number.
Yeah. But, yeah. I don't know why Legos make me so mad. It's one of my lists. If we ever get rid of one of the segments, maybe a segment I'll just add as me being angry at something. Enraged.
Angry old Tim.
I am. Things enrage.
We'll call it Angry Old Man segment.
But, Legos just made me mad because I was watching a streamer, because one of their goals, if they raised so much money, they were going to buy Legos. I'm like, that's a lot of money they're asking for to buy Legos. That they're like, hey, if we raised, I think they raised like $5,000 that day. They're like, if we raise $5,000, I'll buy 10 Lego sets. I'm like, that seems like you're shilling for money. And then I looked up the Lego site, because then they were like, we'll buy it here online. I'm like, I don't think we paid this person enough money. This poor sucker's going to lose money on this deal.
Yeah.
But I guess if you really like Legos, I won't like you, is what I'm saying. Which is a terrible lesson to take from this. Because it's like if you meet a person...
You know people who like Legos, and you like them?
I mean, like Legos. Like, it's their thing.
Just means they have more money than we do.
Like, there's people out there that don't like board games. And when they meet a board game person, you're like, oh, but it's really fun. And you're like, I don't want to deal with this person. You know,
Legos is like a solitaire person thing.
Unless you really want to build something quick.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind watching the Fox show Lego Masters, because those people are creating things.
Yeah.
They don't have a guide. They're like, here's all the stuff you could ever need. Make something from your mind. That fascinates me. Over, here's all the stuff neatly packed for you in each bag, and we'll guide you through it. I think I would like Legos more if they would have the sets with no instructions. Then I would love Legos. If somebody would give me...
Figure it out.
Like, if someone would buy me, like, the Coliseum or one of the bigger ones, and be like, I took the rules, or I took the instructions away from you. Figure it out, Tim. I would be intrigued, because I would be like, these pieces seem bigger. They're probably the bottom.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. It could be the roof. I would spend years and never get it right.
Yep.
And that'd be more fun than just going, okay, here's bag A. Bag B. Because then you're just mindlessly doing something.
Yeah.
I guess if you're like one of those people like, I want to listen to a bunch of audiobooks, but I want to do something with my hand. Sure, fine. Be better than me and richer than me. But other than that, don't be my friend. I don't know. That's a horrible lesson to take away from this.
Yeah.
Anger.
Well, Legos are cool.
I didn't say they weren't cool. They're amazing.
That's all I really have to add. Is those sets look cool. They're way too expensive for me, and Legos in general are cool.
Legos aren't a toy. I think that was my main gripe. Get them out of the toy aisle.
Well, yeah, they are.
They're in the toy aisle.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're a toy. They're in the toy aisle. Board games are in the toy aisles.
Yeah. Okay. Take them out of the toy aisle too.
You know, collectible cars are in toy aisles.
Collectible cars.
Yeah.
Oh, Matchbox?
Well,
those are toys,
but not the Matchbox ones, but the like high end ones. They're in toy aisles.
High end ones.
Well, they're not high end.
But are they still like Hot Wheels kind of thing that you're talking
like
about?
Like my NASCAR cars.
Yeah, because you can take those out and play with them.
You can take Legos out and play with them.
Okay, you're telling me someone's gonna spend $400 on the Coliseum one, and be like, I'm never gonna put the Coliseum together. I just want a bunch of tan bricks. I'm gonna make like a horse.
If somebody builds Titanic, more power to them. If they put it like in their bathtub and play with it.
I don't think it would fit in the bathtub. I think it measures 6 feet.
Okay, if they put it in their pool and play with it.
It would be true to form. It would sink, so it'd be just as fun. And it'd be waterproof. I mean, it's just plastic.
Yes. So more power to that person.
I don't know. Legos just make me angry.
But
that was my off topic this month. I'm sorry for yelling at you Lego fans that are probably 80% of our channel. I'm going to find out.
Yep.
I'm going to get a bunch of comments like,
send all the hate fan mail to Tim.
Be like,
I'm okay with Legos, and I think the giant sets are cool.
I didn't say they weren't cool. I'm just upset they have instructions.
So if you're a Lego creator that watches our channel, again, send the hate mail to Tim.
Hey, I love Lego creators are fascinating. The people that create things without the rules, like the guy I follow.
No, like the guy that if you create the kit.
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah.
Still, send your hate mail to Tim.
Those people fascinate me because they don't get like a thing. They're like, this is what I want to build. I gotta figure out how to do it. Yeah. Then tell them the steps. I don't know. That was off topic for August. It's an angry time of month for me in general. So leave a comment down below. What makes you super angry like Legos?
Or if you love Legos, put down in the comment. What's your favorite thing you ever built? If you build any of their big models.
I said like Legos. Maybe they really hate Connects.
Yeah, but if you build any of the big Lego things or the big Connects things, put that down in the comments. Leave comments. Like, subscribe, ring the bell.
Share the video.
Yeah.
Do all that fun stuff.
And again, thank you for watching Monthly Melt for August of 2022.
Stay sweet.